Right, where was I? It's 1575. Got no spare spies. I'm researching dynamite, which is going to get me artillery ahead of when it would have done in history. Industrialization has to be a priority. So am I at war with somebody? Yes, that's why I'm researching artillery, clearly. But I've won that war now, so I'm going to switch to industrialization. I mean, they still exist as a civilization. I'm just going to farm them for XP points, I think was my plan. To get the extra range on these units and then the double attack. So, can I attack? I'm pressing B and nothing's happening. It's got 2 movement points. Right, it can't see the knight. Okay. Just going to keep that fortified. Those are all healing. Does that have a medic promotion? It does. Does that have a medic promotion? It does not. Who's got a medic promotion? You've got a medic promotion. Let's bring you down here. I think you've got a double medic promotion. And let's swap you two out so that these units heal. And let's pick up some XP. It's only 3. But it takes us closer to our target of 60 to get our 3rd promotion. And then I was also building done that again. I was also building trading posts, wasn't I? Getting some messages down there. No longer allied with Quebec. We rigged the elections in Buenos Aires. We still need another 43. That might come, it might not. Right, trading post, please. Put that musketman there so it's healing all these units. Fortify this one for a turn. I really want another musketman to come out and swap out with him. Ooh, he's a double healer as well. That's nice. What? Oh, it's... yeah, I thought I had that. Because it selected the worker, and I thought the worker was selected. Just because the worker had been selected. How dumb am I? Boo. So the question is... oh, I've got the Leaning Tower of Pisa.
Don't clap too hard, it's...
Excellent. That's... this one is the closest one to a promotion. But I think I'll let it heal fully. That one can come down there, that one can come down there. This now needs to move out of the fray. This chap can move down to there. Into the fray. Choose a great person. Okay, well, it's a difficult choice. I haven't been doing much with religion, so prophets really don't care about. What does my culture look like? I mean, a great writer. A great engineer is always good. Can we get this theming bonus up to 2? That's different eras and different civs. They're all still offering just medieval. No, I can't get that up. Right. So, would anyone benefit from a great engineer? Yeah, indeed, Soul would. Let's pick a great engineer. Move stacked unit. And I'm going to put it over here and make that a really productive mine. Now, why is that Ah, because we're losing money. We've got a budget deficit. That has to be addressed as soon as possible. Okay, time for some XP. Now there was a knight moving around in this vicinity. I don't want him to come around and flank me. You can heal there. I think I'll get away with taking another hit on that. That can come down there. That can come down there. That can continue to heal. Alright, we've got a cargo ship coming up that might solve our budget deficit. Let's get another cup. And we've got another one coming. Let's get another one after that. Right. What do we really need? Let's get the observatory and get 50% on our science. We've got 49 on our science, and the 50% would be nice, and that is a long-term bonus. So we're now looking at tiles which we could improve and haven't yet, which will be used by Cusco. That's one such. That's another such. But again, the question is, and I still haven't decided, what am I going to do with these Incan cities? Yeah. I can leave him just that one. Take that in a peace deal. That one's actually... Ooh. So Montezuma is going on a bit of a warmongering phase. I need to be careful here. I want to put a spy in that city to see what's going on. And do I have a scout still? Or did the scout die? Let's go down the unit list, that'll be easier. I don't see anything that looks like a scout. I think the scout must have copped it. And this is bad news, because I don't want to be fighting a war on two fronts. And my plan had been to either leave them that as the capital or this. I'm not sure I want them to have this as a capital. It's a bit too close to my west flank. So I think I'm going to redirect my forces to take this city, raise it, or I could just see if they'll declare peace. Let me get some XP from these units, for these units. That would actually take the city. I don't want to do that. So let's talk to them and negotiate peace and say, give me that city. Okay, how about some silk, some sugar, some horses, some iron? Okay, he won't give me the city. I don't want to leave him with two cities. Now, if he's at war with Montezuma, Montezuma might come and take this city as well. If he does, I might get brownie points for resurrecting the Inca at a later date. For now, I'm going to continue with my plan. Oh, right, okay, that's not an Incan knight. I'm going to continue with my plan of taking that city and then declaring peace, leaving the Incas with just one city and rendering them basically ineffective for the rest of the game. All these are unworkable. That might get some border growth. Let's pop the worker down there just on the off chance. Got plenty of workers who can handle an expansion in this area. We're not going to need a road, and it's going to cost us gold to maintain it, so let's just get rid of the road. Did that too soon, because he could have used it to cross into there, which is where I need him to be. Oh well. Okay. And we are taking money, please, to get rid of that budget deficit. This currently has +4 production. I'm going to put that down and get +3 more production, +2 science. Ooh, actually, maybe it's because it's science as well. Maybe it would have been better to put that down there in our science city. Oh well. Let's start marching our forces off to war. Electrically, we'll keep our baseball score. Good. We're now turning a profit, which means our science will be good again. The Zulus want me to declare war on Askia. They're on a different continent. Askia's on my continent. I want to go for the science victory. I'm not doing the domination. Oh no, Zulus are here, aren't they? No, that's the Danes. Right, you want more than that? No. Okay, I can do without open borders with you. No, I'm going to take your last city. And then we can have peace. And that makes me more comfortable if somebody does try to declare war. Let's put our ground unit there, ready for the next turn to take. Oh good, that's a nice amount of damage being caused there. You need to heal. I'm going to give you one shot and then pull you back. I'm going to get you out of there, give you one more shot to get you some XP. Where's my double healing musketman? I don't see him. It only shows 1+ there, and there's actually 2. So double healing musketman will be healing this unit. Let's pop him down there. So other units come into range. We've had problems with finance, so let's start getting our finance sorted out. Get a bank up. If I leave Cusco as a puppet, it's going to focus on gold. Am I going to unpuppet it? Probably not. My other 3 cities are strong enough. So I'm going to stop building farms, and I'm going to start building gold. Right, artists. We don't have any great artist slots yet, do we? There's another great artist there as well. Yeah, we don't have any slots, so it's not worth doing it now. And I think there's 1 or 2 which require art from the same era and civilization, so I'm going to save those and pop them later as and when I get the right building. If not, I'll just use them for golden ages. Okay. Have a crack at that. Now, here's an interesting question. Can I finish that this turn? Yes, I can. That's going to reduce it enough so that this musketeer can take it with very little damage. It's going to hamper my happiness, and I'm going to raise it. So I've lost 13 happiness points through that capture, but I'll get them back as the raising progresses. Which means I can afford to do that. And then make peace. Having got the XP. I'm kind of thinking, should I wipe them out entirely? But I think, no, there's a massive warmonger penalty for doing that. So, accept my embassy. I'll throw some horses your way, just for sarcasm. Right. So all the Inca are left with now is this tiny little strip of land. They are never going to recover from that, ever. They're not going to come back in the game. As a force, they are spent. They might complain, they might vote against me, they might denounce me occasionally. Even if they get a few military units, they're not going to build enough to compete with me at this stage. That war is done. How's our spy doing? Still establishing surveillance. Okay. So we finished the phase of the game where we were dealing with the difficult neighbors. Who declared war on us. We didn't start it. I was happy with the science victory. Our position is secure. The Danes can be hostile, but they're half a continent away. The big problem now becomes the Aztecs. Oh, no, the Songhai. So I'm going to want to establish a defensive frontier down here now. And it doesn't have to be anything particularly special. Just making sure I've got units that can cover any advancing enemy. So I'm going to pop that in there because that fort gives it an extra defensive bonus. Let's get that cannon up there and move that out. Fortify it. Cannon are more vulnerable, so putting them in a city under cover is better. They might also come and attack Busan, so I'm just going to put that up there as a unit to keep watch. And because I've got roads, I will be forewarned of any nasties approaching my territory, so I'm just going to pull my military units up into kind of the middle of the map. I'll leave a small force down here, just in case the Inca get any ideas. But I now want to protect from seaborne invasion from the Danes and land-based invasion from the Inca. So I'm also going to take units and station them there as well, as I had before, a little lineup. Right, okay, no brainer. Extra science. Caravan, what was that doing? Busan. Anybody wanting a trade route? No. Okay, well we'll just keep feeding our science capital and keep that growing. Trading post, please. Yeah, I'll leave a musket man down there, put him on a road so he's more adaptable. There's literally nothing for you to do, so I'm going to swap the places of these two. Oh, that's a general. I thought it was a worker. Okay, so let's get our worker down in Busan again. Nice and central, can head up here, and head down there to wherever they're needed. We could really take the mickey and pop him here and steal all those. Yeah, get over it. We could pop the general here and steal all these cells away from the Inca. You can do that even if you've got a peace treaty. It annoys them, but there's nothing they can do about it. Right. What am I needing? Happiness is a bit low. A lighthouse is useful, +1 food, +1 production, but we're only working 1 sea tile at the moment. On the other hand, it's only 1 turn, may as well do it. We don't even have a market in our capital city. It's time for that, and it's definitely time for a pagoda. And walls. We can still only build privateers as our ships. Right, you have to pick something in a city when you're raising it. It never gets made, so it just doesn't matter what you pick. Pick anything. Fortify that. There's 8 turns until border growth. Cargo ship. What am I building there? Observatory. Let's get some more population. Right, okay. So that cannon is better in open ground. So it's going to be better off going up to Seoul, which has a lot more open ground. That cannon's good for rough ground. Let's put it in Cusco. That's also got the rough ground promotion. Let's put it in that fort. We've already got one heading for that fort, but we'll put it, see where it gets to. Are you moving anywhere? You're not. So let's bring you just, you know, somewhere where there's a road, somewhere handy. You will not be needed in there because it's going to be raised. And again, just somewhere central on the map. Fortify that artist. Next turn. Okay, let's get that close to the fort. That side of the river, so anything attacking it pays a penalty. Fortify the general there. Now, key moment. Industrialization will reveal coal on the map, and we are going to need at least 3 coal, because we're going to need to build at least 3 factories. Because that gives us an ideology. Right, we can't steal from Songhai. That's good news. It means that we've got more techs than them. And looking at this, there's no real build-up of any enemy forces around there. So it looks like he was just having a beef with the Inca, probably because they built too close to him. Yeah, they forward settled him, built too close. So he just took those cities. Probably at peace with them now. So, where's best for this spy to go? Somewhere that's nearly an ally, but not quite. Quebec City. And they can give us furs, but takes 48 to become friends with them. Manila. They haven't got an ally, and it's very cheap. We don't need much. So let's go to Manila, rig their elections and become their ally. Cancel that road, please. I don't need all this road now, either. I mean, it's only 1 gold per road. For maintenance. I don't see the road maintenance on the summary. Must be 31 spent on improvement maintenance. So in the big scheme of things, probably not worth doing anything about that. You fortify. You pop into that city. Why? Oh, you must have been out of moves. You fortify there. Threatened by the Zulus from all the way over this other continent. Where's their capital? It's the middle of the land. This is interesting. This is interesting because Shaka has just denounced me, so he's quite likely to declare war on me. But he's on the other continent. So he's unlikely to be able to do much. Especially if I build a couple of naval vessels and just sit between him and me and watch out for any impulse. Unless he's got a strong navy, he won't be able to do much. But I've got cannons and those are soon going to turn into artillery. So declaring war against the Inca isn't a huge risk, and it makes the Aztecs like me more. And that might be handy. Lessens the chance of them denouncing me. And they're on the other continent, so they will keep most of the Zulu forces tied up. Yeah, let's declare war. Okay, so some city-states have declared war on me. Let's see who. Don't know what that was. It should be down at the bottom in red. So there's only 3. That one's on my continent, so that's concerning, but not overly concerning. They're nowhere nearby. Right. So there's now going to be a bit of a ding-dong on this continent. I ought to make sure I'm safe. Where is Buenos Aires? '54. I think I'm going to relocate from Buenos Aires to the capital of the Zulus, which is Ulundi, I think. No, it's not. Or maybe it is. Yes, it is the capital, but it didn't allow me to select diplomat because I'm at war. So how many coastal cities does he actually have? 1. I could liberate Constantinople and bring back Byzantium. It's an interesting thought. They'd be friendly to me. I'd get a reduced warmonger penalty. But it means if I do go for a domination victory at the end, I don't have to take it back. I wonder if there's a city, another city around here that used to be Byzantium, which I could take. I could take Constantinople, keep it, and improve my chances of a domination victory, and then liberate something else from Constantinople anyway. You can fortify. Fortify. You've stopped. Presumably somebody's gone into the position that you were going to take up. Having something big near the capital, never a bad idea. Let's move 2 up near to the capital in case we get any pseudo aggression. Gold per turn. Yeah, my finances aren't great, so I'll take that. I don't want to fortify there, that's too close to the border. And you know what, I don't think that's going to be much of a threat. I'm just going to move this, again, somewhere central, somewhere it can be redeployed. If you just heard a massively worrying noise, that was my cat. Happiness we could use. So let's go to zoo. And then let's queue up the military. No, let's not queue up the military academy because we're about to get industrialization. And our entire game now is going to depend on, do we have coal? Not giving that worker an order because it might be needed to go and get coal. Right, let's swap these two units around. Put the more vulnerable cannon in the city. Okay. Thought I had a unit coming into there. Let's just make it that one. And you know what? Yeah, you can fortify there. That's fine. What? At some point I've misclicked again. Using EUI again. Let's bring it over here. So, enemy units coming in here. If they land in the zone of control of this fort, they will lose. I think it's 30 hit points per turn. So the cannon can hit it there. It'll cross a river using all its hit points. Then it'll lose 30. The cannon can hit it again. The crossbowman can hit it. At that point, it's basically game over. So if they attack around here, which is due west of their city, they're in for a rough evening. And I can always take this general and spawn a new fort, say here, or even here, which makes the corridor they can get through very narrow. Choose production. Circus for happiness. Again, no order. Cannon fortify. Leaving you there. Research agreement. What do they want? 10 gold. Horses, iron, don't care about. Great. That's going to get me a nice lot of research when that agreement matures.
Industrialization based on machinery already.
And coal has been discovered. There and there. I've got 3 there, just over the border another 3. And there is 7. Outstanding, that's more than enough coal. We are going to construct a mine there. And do we have any other idle workers? Yeah, there. Come down and get that. We're going to need coal for factories. But it can also be traded. And that is going to grow and hopefully nab that. Although we really don't need that much coal. Hardly any units use it. There are some naval units that use it, driven by steam. But I've never really, I don't really use those units. I wait for the battleships. If you're playing an epic paced game, much longer paced game, yes, you probably want to get those steam driven units. Or if you're playing on the higher difficulty and you're in trouble militarily, then yes, but I don't really care for it because I can just wait to get the battleship and the destroyer. Okay, military academy would be useful. Garden plus 25% great people generation. This is my art central. I should have built that a long time ago. Religion I'm really not doing much with. Brandenburg Gate, free great general. That's actually nice and useful. Lots of plus XP for units. So I'll queue that up, you never know, see if we get it. And now let's return to dynamite so we can upgrade those cannon. Ah! No, I don't want to upgrade those cannon yet, because that will cost money. And buying a factory costs 1,050 gold. And I might want to buy a factory. If one city is being particularly slow. So let's head up to biology. That's going to give us, what's that? Acoustics, allows me to make great works of music. Architecture, which is great if you're pursuing, all these are great if you're pursuing culture. Archaeology, that's great for culture. Scientific theory, public school. Science, fantastic. And then biology will give us oil. And oil and aluminium are two vital late game resources that we're going to want a lot of, both for aircraft, for ships with the oil, and for aluminium, that's advanced weapons like rockets, rocket launchers. Look, mate, I let you live. I let you live. I didn't have to let you live. Shut up and sit down, all right? I'm not joking. Two turns until border growth, and it could be either of those. Five turns for that coal. I'll pop it there and... Right, okay, lighthouse is definitely worth it here. We are working more tiles. Let's get the bank up as well. Let's do that first, in fact. And is any other city lacking a bank? Factory is available, but we can't build it because we don't have the coal. Bank. Getting a factory is more important than getting the Brandenburg Gate. The Brandenburg Gate, you know, lovely to have, but the factory springboards me into ideology. And being the first to ideology is big, because if you're first to pick an ideology, you get to pick two tenants, and everybody else only gets to pick one. And those are like social policies, but themed within a much bigger tree. Where did I put that? No text to steal. He's in Ulundi. There's not much going on. Yeah, okay, let's move him to somewhere he's actually going to be useful. Wellington. $101 needed there. 64. Who's got a lot of city-state allies? Zanzibar is neutral. Let's pop him into Zanzibar. Nobody's really trying. Gets me more votes at the World Conference. No sign of any Zulu units. I don't remember when I can negotiate peace. Let's try it next turn. Okay, now I can build the Musicians Guild, and that's important to get done. Culture. Sistine Chapel. 25% culture in all cities. I've only got 16 culture in this city, but that would also apply to there and get me an extra 1. And an extra 35 there. You know what, let's build it anyway. We've got great work of art or artifact slots. And I have neglected my culture. I do want to start getting that together. So just go for it with nothing to lose. 13 turns into a board of growth. Okay, we have grown, so let's turn that into a mine. I'm tempted to buy that tile, but I don't want to because I want to buy a factory. So it's starting to get difficult to see what is needing improvement. That's grassland, that's got a trading post. We can't put a trading post on there because it's got bananas. I'm okay with that being rough terrain, defensive bonus for my units. Let's pop it down here and start getting a trading post. When do we hit railroad? After dynamite. So that's the next big job for my workers, is joining all my cities with railroads, because that gives you a production bonus and also a speed of travel bonus. Makes you a lot more flexible, especially militarily. I'm not at war with any city-states. Oh yes I am, because I'm at war with the Zulus. Okay. Now Buenos Aires has got some missions. Units. They want Shinto. And they want me to generate a great merchant. I'm not going to generate a great merchant. I'd much rather generate great scientists. How much? A unit earns 10 influence. And I need 25. It's easier to go and give them Shinto. Can I get a prophet or a missionary? Not yet. In a few turns, maybe. There's quite a lot of stuff here I need. Harbour gives me better trade routes, military academy, opera house, but bank is most important, then garden, and then Brandenburg Gate would be nice. So I'm not going to change any of that yet. Now, I voted for science funding. I suggested it, so I'm going to vote for it. I don't think I have jewellery at the moment. Maybe from a city-state. But my happiness is okay. In general, I try to avoid the banning of luxuries. The AI never struggles with luxuries, so I like to have them all available. Okay. Because that happiness was a bit low. And even though my finances are not great, that's great, got 21 extra. Make a proposal. Let's get World's Fair out of the way. With the amount of production I've got, I should probably win it. Goodbye! Oh, I forgot to declare peace on the Zulus. Just occasionally, if you wait for them to declare peace, they'll just come and offer you a city.
Architecture.
That's it. Would he give me a city? That's the Aztecs. So where's the Zulus? Boy, did I miscalculate. Okay, negotiate peace. Gotta wait another 5 turns. Ooh. I'm at war with the Zulus, and they've captured a city-state. So if I liberate that city-state, they're going to really like me. I thought they stayed loyal forever after, but in my last playthrough that didn't happen. They allied with somebody else eventually. Everybody's happy? Who's trying to capture Buenos Aires? I didn't see who that was. Who are they at war with? Denmark, Mombasa, and Ife. City-states won't travel very far to go to war, so that's got to be Denmark trying to take it. Again, if I'm looking for diplomacy in the late game, liberating that might be a decent option. One, two, three. 1, 2, 3. Right, that's where that tile would be in play. No, it wouldn't, because I can't buy it. Well, that one would be after that one gets acquired. It's going to go down here first, but it takes more culture to acquire mountains. So I'm going to pull this chap back in the expectation that we're going to be doing railroady stuff soon. Let's get him up by soil. Right, we're about to get archaeology, which is going to reveal ruins. And then biology, which will reveal oil. And, as in real life, wars about oil are quite common because it's a rare resource. I can get a great profit. I would like to get an Inquisitor as well, but I'm not generating much faith. Does that allow me to buy a building with faith? No. What a useless religion. Neither does that one. Neither does... Okay, so... I'm going to get a great profit. Use that to spread the religion to Buenos Aires, which might make them an ally of mine. Then I'm going to bring the great profit back and hang out outside Busan or Jeonju until I've got enough faith to buy a pagoda. I'll expend the great profit, buy the pagoda, and then I'll do it to the other city as well. And Islam will take over again, but that's fine. I'll still have the pagoda. It'll still give me happiness and culture and faith per turn. No longer even friends with Buenos Aires. Mate. It's a bit harsh. Okay, so we've got the great profit. My plan was to send him to Buenos Aires. Need another 31. It's possible. That tie is not workable by anything. That one is. Okay, do I want to build a science place down by my science city? If so, where? That's giving me 10 science. I'm really loath to replace jungle, but it makes sense, you know, when you've got the best you've got is 3 science, 2 gold, 2 food, and then you get 2 food, 10 science. What you're losing is the 2 gold. So it's a matter of which resource is more valuable. In the late game, that's going to be science. And when I start popping great scientists, expending them to learn techs, the amount of science you get is based on the amount of science you're generating per turn. So laying down a few, generating 10, gives you a long-term benefit. But I think I'm okay. 195 science in that city is decent for this difficulty level. I'm going to leave it. We still can't build our factories. Brandenburg Gate is underway, Sistine Chapel is underway, Bank and Lighthouse are underway. That all looks good. So I'm going to bring that great scientist out here, keep him away from the coast where he could be vulnerable to units landing on him, and just put him somewhere I can pop him later. How am I doing on my culture tree? I haven't gone all the way down rationalism yet, have I? What have I got? +2 science for every specialist, that would be good. Gold from science buildings, that would be good. I haven't really got many science agreements, and adopting them all gives me like 1 technology. So that's not all that powerful at that point. And you can purchase scientists with faith, but faith really hasn't been a big part of my game, has it? So I don't see a huge need to go down the left-hand side of that tree, which is good because I now have coal, which means I can now start to build factories. 16 turns, that looks like a candidate for buying. 6 turns, queue that up. 9 turns, queue that up. So building in Busan and Seoul, and then buying in Jeonju. Sounds good to me. Okay. That could do with a trading post. That can just be doing with woods being cut down. Or maybe extra prod thing. I can't remember what they're called. Sawmill, something like that. Because this is a puppet city, it's not going to be intelligent enough to do the things the best. So you just give it a bunch of squares that are useful for work and will generate stuff. And it is building stuff. Look, it's building a bank. So if I give it a bit of extra production using... Oh, it's already got a lumber mill. And it's showing me that a road would be advantageous there. Why? Because we don't have a road there. So it's not actually connected to my capital. Okay, that's bad. Because we'll be losing a lot of gold because it's not connected. So yeah, I can build a road there. I prefer to have it that side of the river. For defensive purposes. Again, if I've got enemy units coming in from here, if I travel down the road there, and they have to cross the river to attack me. So I'm just going to put it down there. Could be a trading post. You are fortifying and waiting for the invention of the railroad, buddy. I'm happy with open borders. You got anything else I need? Nope. Nothing I really care to sell you either. Goodbye. Archaeology introduces us to a new age where we have ruins to explore if we build archaeologists. And there's a ruin. And there's another one. There's another one. There's another one. So we've got like 5 antiquity sites discovered. Mate, you went and founded a new city right where I raised your old one. The context clues were all there. But it's a beginning city, he's not going to get much from it. So what can we do with antiquity sites? Basically, we can dig them up and put the discoveries into museums, which also house artworks. So we can build museums, we can populate them with either antiquities or works of art. Speaking of which, let's see if we've got... I should have gone for the medieval swap while I could. So let's learn from that and swap Korea medieval era La Vida something or other. La Vida something or other. Let's get that in with a Renaissance piece from them. And Korea industrial, that's current, so I don't want to swap that. That's medieval. That's Renaissance. So let's swap Aesop's Fables for the Danish Renaissance art. Now the reason I've done that is I've now got one from Songhai, one from Denmark. They're both Renaissance era. But I've learnt my lesson. I could have got a medieval one, at which point this would have had a theming bonus. I didn't do that. So when they start entering the industrial era, I can swap one of those for an industrial work of art. Okay, you again are going to come up close to the capital now in preparation of railroad. Let's pop over it as a great work of writing.
Happy is the man who is broken.
It'll automatically go into an empty slot. Ah, here we go. The Zulu want peace, having fought precisely no battles. Let's see if they'll give us Melbourne.
Ungavuma ukudayisa. Cha.
What about for sugar, silk? Accepting an embassy. Some coal. Let's give him 3 because we only need some at the moment.
Lutho
Okay.
neze neze.
Let's try throwing in some more luxuries.
Lutho
He's not going to give
neze
it.
neze.
Okay, we'll take the horses. We'll take the gold per turn.
Ungavuma ukudayisa.
And we won't liberate Melbourne. But it got us brownie points with the Aztecs. And cost us nothing, just waiting several turns for Shaka to approach us and offer us some free horses. In the year 1690, as we're heading towards artillery and tanks. Somebody stole acoustics. You're off to convert Buenos Aires.
Ungavuma ukudayisa.
Yeah, I'm happy to give some luxuries now. Why don't we throw some spices into the deal in exchange for sugar? Works for all of us. Happiness back up to 20. But this culture is disastrously low for this stage in the game. Need to work on that. Sistine Chapel will help, but we need to start getting great works up, and that's something that I have neglected to do until now. Ooh, interesting. Different tile got acquired. I guess that was probably from Busan. Factory. Is that where I was going to purchase the factory? Making. Yeah, that's where I was going to purchase the factory. Watch my production. 24, 31. What a lovely boost. Happiness, we're okay. Let's go for the Opera House. Oh, that reminds me. Have I built the Musicians Guild? Taj Mahal. Happiness +4, so it's not as good as the one that gave me +10, which was Notre Dame. It's not bad. Ufezi. Culture +2. Musicians Guild still needing desperately to be got. Sistine Chapel in one turn, then the factory. And I think factories are too important to let go at this point in the game. I need them quick. Simply because of those boosts. Production +2, science +2, great engineer points. Sorry, that's if they worked. But it gives, if you look at the top there, production +4, +10%. So that's 74, and then another 7.4 on top of that, which makes building other wonders are then far quicker and easier to build. On the other hand, it would only knock like 10% or best 20% off the Taj Mahal. Let's pop the Taj Mahal in before the factory. You never know, we might get it. And ditto Ufezi. Because you never know. On deity, you do know you're not getting any wonders. And I'm going to be backtracking. 25% culture in all cities. Thank you very much. Didn't give me much of a boost, but as I start to get more culture, that's going to really pay off. I've bought that factory now. How long will it be till I can afford to buy another one? 10 turns. Done. I'll wait 10 turns and buy the factory in Seoul. Okay. Do you still want the religion? You do. You are now Shinto. But we still need another 40 influence. Maybe that'll update at turn end. Let's bring that back to there in preparation for popping it when we have enough faith to buy another pagoda. Again, work is coming up in preparation for the railroad work. They're not building. Trading posts. Scientific theory, public school. Academy +2, so that will go from +10 to +12. I really don't have the hang of getting scientists to lay down academies. I don't have the hang of that well enough. And specializing cities. So everyone says you should specialize cities. So this being my science city, maybe I should have laid down academies instead of production here and just focused on population. I should watch some more advanced videos than my own ones. Biology coming up. That's going to tell me if I need to go to war. or settle a city elsewhere. I still haven't uncovered most of the interior of this continent, and that is slightly worrying. Yay! Brandenburg Gate. Adopt policy. We're about to get into ideology. We haven't yet. Okay, so what are our options? A great asset appears. Oh, don't care. Look, we've got the production now. That's not a worry. That would be useful to have. Plus 33%. But with a culture number that low, really not going to make that much difference. Other options. Happiness increase. That gives me a culture boost as well because of one of the other policies I picked earlier. I'm not going to be founding any more cities unless it's like one for oil or perhaps aluminium. Plus 5 production. I'm getting factories now. So let's go for the plus 2 science. We've currently got plus 472. 515, not to be sniffed at. A nice little boost. This general, let's just keep him in Seoul. Why not? Scipio Africanus, one of my favourite generals. Defeated Hannibal at the Battle of Zama. Cargo ship. Anyone wanting a trade route? Nope. So plus 4 science from there makes them a bit friendlier. Let's do that. Fortify Scipio. Now I'm hopeful that I'm going to get oil within my territory, although it does tend to come more towards tundra. Do I have a privateer, by the way? I do. It's still off exploring automatically. Okay. And I'm thinking I might want to start to explore this area. Right, you can fortify. We don't have enough faith for a pagoda yet. Cargo ship. I'm going to go for cash rather than growing the city because I want to buy that factory. Ally of Manila. And Manila have declared war on Mombasa. Why? Am I at war with Mombasa? Let's just check. I am. War with Korea, Buenos Aires, Manila, Ife and Cape Town. What's happened there is that when I declared war on Shaka, presumably that city-state was his ally. So they declared war on me, then they stopped being his ally. And when I made peace with Shaka, peace with them wasn't part of the deal because they were no longer his ally. So I've just accidentally been at war with a city-state without knowing it for hundreds of years. Let's put you down there. Rommel. Thanks for giving me a Nazi. Yes, he was a Nazi. If you're not doing domination victories, this part of the game is where it starts to get a little bit slow. So we've now got 3 great artists. They have to be popped next to a city, so try to keep them away from the coast but next to cities. And that's got 3 slots for great works of art, and I think they might all be same civilization, same age. So I'm keeping those artists, and I'll pop them when I think it's to my best advantage. Right. Harbour extended trade range, public school. Let's go for the science first. General is there. I'm going to put him in there, actually, into the fort, just because it feels nicer, and then he will affect everything in a 2 tile range. Biology is about to pop.
If the
Biology.
brain was so simple we could understand it. It would be so simple we couldn't.
Looks like nothing's been discovered. I didn't see it pop up. So we are going to have to acquire some oil. So let's have a look around. 4 oil there. If I'd puppeted that city that I took, I would have it. It can appear on land as well. 4 oil there. We could settle a really crap city there. 4 oil there. I mean, that's only enough for like 4 fighters. Or 4 battleships. Or 2 of each. Buenos Aires has got 3. Becoming an ally with them would provide us the oil. Ife have got 4 again. Becoming an ally of Ife would give us the oil. Need 116. That's not going to happen. 7 oil. I can only settle within 4 squares. 1, 2, 3, 4. So I can't settle anything around there. Manila are already allies. If only I could buy them a square, I'd be getting that resource, but I can't buy a square on their behalf. 4 oil off the coast there. That city's very vulnerable to the Viking attack if I settle there. Malacca's got 7 oil, so becoming their ally would be great. It's doable. It's 64 I need. So a nice big gold gift would do it. Four oil there off the coast. Vulnerable city though. Would make a useful staging head if I do go for domination to get onto that continent. And this is one of the criticisms that I have of the game. I've got to the point where I've got oil. I need oil. And before I can build any sort of advanced weapons like fighters or battleships, I'm going to need oil. But there's no easy way for me to get it. I'm going to have to befriend a city-state at a cost of a lot of money. Now, if Alexander the Great was in the game and had befriended all the city-states, no chance. I have no chance of getting oil. And it's one of the stages of this game where people often either rage quit or use an in-game editor to just give themselves some oil in their territory. Like plop down 7 oil there. I think it might be worth settling a city there, but that increases all the future cost of all my social policies. I'm not going to expand my borders into that tile. I think that's the maximum extent already reached. So that's quite a heavy price for getting just for oil, is a permanent increase in the cost of social policies. I'm going to have to go with allying with that city-state, which is going to cost me 1,000 gold, and I'm going to have to maintain that alliance, which means I'm going to have to keep giving them gold, keep giving them stuff. I mean, giving them Shinto and a great writer might help. Great writer's coming in 26 turns. Whoop de doop. Definitely need that. Okay, with that depressing news about oil, I think that's where I'm going to finish for this session.